Good morning, students. This is Harcharan Singh, PGT English, Cambridge International School, Dasua. And I hope you all are fit, fine, and healthy at your homes and studying well. Students, there are two textbooks, Hornbill and Snapshots, and we are reading Snapshots. Students, we are reading Albert Einstein at School. That is written by Patrick Pringle, and this is from his book, The Young Einstein, and it's one extract from that book. This chapter is about when Albert Einstein was studying in a German school and he was expelled from there. We come to know Albert Einstein was not good at cramming things. So, for that, he made arguments with his teacher that education should be idea based, not fact based, because we can learn the things easily from books. Then Albert is the first thing is worried about his school. The other thing is his lodgings, the place where he lives that is not comfortable. Yesterday we read in the evening when he met his friend Yuri, he told him that his place is very miserable. Yuri said, "At least you have your own room to live." Albert told him that the people with whom he lives, they all are very uncivilized. And he said to Yuri, "At least you live among civilized people." Yuri said, "Last week there was a fight among students. One student was killed, and the one who killed him, he was left free. He was not given any kind of punishment but only a warning. And the student who killed the other student is worried that he did not get any cut, any scar, or any mark as a badge of honor and bravery." Albert said, and he commented that how uncivilized those students are. Yuri said, "One day you are also going to be a student." He said, "I doubt it." After that, he met his cousin Elsa, who lives in Berlin with her father, who is having business there. Elsa told him, she advised him to study well. He does not need to bother about anything. What he has to do is to cram the things and repeat them in the paper. She knows many students who are more stupid than Albert, but they easily pass their exams. Albert said cramming was the biggest problem for him. She said, "You need to be like a parrot. You have to copy everything." He said, "That is the problem. I cannot learn it." Albert Einstein was carrying one geology book, and his cousin Elsa asked him whether that was in his syllabus. He said no. Then she said, "Why are you studying it? Why don't you study or read the books that are in your syllabus?" He said, "I like it. That is why I am studying it." She said, "This book will not help you in your diploma." He went away. Apart from science books, Albert Einstein had great interest in music. He used to play violin whenever he was free at his quarter. Whenever he played violin, the landlady would start shouting at him that there is already much noise in the house. The kids are howling, and the sound of music that falls upon her nerves. Albert thought many times that it is she who made the most noise and she made the children howl. But he did not say anything. It's better to say nothing. After that, he told his friend Yuri that he wanted to leave the place because, according to him, he was wasting his time and his father's money. There was no meaning of staying there. He said, "If I asked my father to take me to Italy, he wouldn't be ready because his father would not take him until he finishes his diploma and school. Then he suddenly got an idea and he asked Yuri if he knew any doctor. Yuri asked why. He said, if a doctor can write that I have nervous breakdown and I should not go to school. He said there are many doctors, but no doctor would be ready to write that as he was not having any kind of nervous breakdown. He said, don't worry. If I will go to school for next 1 or 2 days, he would definitely get nervous breakdown and that would be easy for the doctor to write for him. Albert was right, and when Yuri saw him the next time, he actually seemed very much troubled. By this time, Albert had given up and he literally requested Yuri if he would not help him, he would definitely have a real nervous breakdown by going to school regularly. So he requested Yuri to help him, and this would have surely made the doctor's work easier. He said, then every doctor would believe me that I have got nervous breakdown. Yuri told him that he has found just the doctor for him and he has an appointment the next evening, and he gave him the address and the appointment slip. Albert read the doctor's name, that was Dr. Ernest Weil, and asked Yuri if he is a special doctor of nerves. Yuri told him that he was not exactly a neurospecialist as he qualified as a doctor only last week. He recently passed his medical school, and might be Albert would be his first patient. Yuri mentioned that he has known him for a while. He said he is well known to Dr. Ernest Weil and warned him not to tell lie to the doctor because he was not a fool. Yuri asked him to be honest and not to pretend to have nervous issues. He immediately mentioned that it was also not possible because Albert is the world's worst liar. Here, his friend Yuri calls him the world's worst liar. He spent the next day thinking about all he was going to tell the doctor. He thought so much that he feared he would actually get a nervous breakdown. Next day, Albert went to see the doctor and told him that he really does not have the right choice of words to describe his condition. As Albert was confused, he could not tell the doctor what the problem was. The doctor, he was very friendly and he made him comfortable and told him that Yuri had already told him everything. It turned out that Yuri had told him everything and how Albert wanted the doctor to think he had a nervous breakdown because of school. Albert expressed his unhappiness with Dr. Weil knowing the entire truth because he felt that the doctor would not help him now. As he thinks Yuri has already told the doctor everything that he does not want to go to school, that is why he needs a medical certificate. So he thought now the doctor would not write anything for him. And what will happen? He will have to go back to school. As Dr. Weil is very friendly, he again made him comfortable by saying that the situation that he was undergoing, that is well understood, even when he had not told anything about it. And he said the doctor assured him that if you do not want to go to school, that means you are really nervous about the school. Albert said, Doctor, I haven't told you anything about it. And how can you know that? When Albert asked the doctor how he knew that he was nervous about the school, he said, If you wouldn't have been so nervous, you wouldn't have come to me. If you have come to me to get a fake medical certificate, that means you are really nervous about the school. Then the doctor asked him, Okay, if I give you a certificate that you are not well, you have nervous breakdown, and you need to stay away from school for some time, what will you do then? Albert said, I will go to Milan in Italy to my parents. And the doctor said, What will you do there? Albert said, I will join some college or institute there. Doctor said, How can you join any college or institute without getting diploma from the school? Then Albert told him he was good at mathematics and he had done some extra work of mathematics. So his mathematics teacher would definitely give him a reference, and on the basis of that, he can get admission in some college or institute in Italy. The doctor said, Okay, I will give you the certificate, but he is doubtful whether his idea of going to any college or institute would be a success or not. Then he also added that staying there in the school is also not going to help anyone, neither to the school nor to Albert, because he was wasting his time there. So then he asked Albert how much time he wanted uh, that should be mentioned on the certificate. And Albert said 6 months. 6 months would be enough. So the doctor said that he could understand the problem of Albert because recently he too was a student and he has left his college recently and he understands, what are the problems that are faced by students. On this, Albert asked him the money, the fee, though he had no money. The doctor said no need to pay anything. Just if you want to do something, you can invite Yuri and me for a meal because Yuri is a very good friend of yours and mine too. That is a common trend between both of them. So, what he can do is he can call them for supper. Then, on seeing the certificate, Yuri assures him that 6 months is a good time period because just in case things go wrong, Albert could come back to finish his school diploma. Albert reassures Yuri that this is not going to happen because he will never go back to that place. That is his school. He conveyed his idea of taking the certificate to the head of the school the next day, while Yuri also reminded him to get reference certificate from his mathematics teacher. Okay, students, what we read today, I'm going to conclude that. Uh, Today we read how Albert goes to the doctor and gets a certificate after requesting Yuri to find a doctor for him. When they met the next time, Albert was right, and when Yuri saw him the next time, he actually seemed troubled. By this time, Albert had given up, and he actually was expecting a nervous breakdown if it continued like that. Then every doctor would be satisfied if he gets a real nervous breakdown. Yuri conveyed him. He told him that he has found a doctor for him and he has an appointment the next evening. He gave him the slip on which address was written. Albert read the doctor's name, that was Dr. Ernst Weil, and asked Yuri if he specialized in nerves. Yuri told him that he was not exactly a neurospecialist, and because he has qualified as a doctor only the last week he passed his medical school, and Albert could even be his first patient. Yuri mentioned that he has known the doctor for a while and warned Albert not to tell any lie because he was not a fool. Yuri asked him to be honest and not pretend to have nervous issues. He immediately mentioned that it was not also possible because Albert is the world's worst liar. Albert Einstein spent the next day thinking about all he was going to tell the doctor. He thought so much that he feared he would actually get a nervous breakdown. Albert went to see the doctor and told him that he really does not have the right choice of words. He is confused how to explain his problem to the doctor. And the doctor, he is very friendly. He told him, first he made him comfortable and then told him that there is no need to tell because his friend Yuri had already told him everything. And when Albert got unhappy that Yuri should not have told the doctor, and now he thought that the doctor would not help him, he will not give him the certificate. As a result, he will have to go back to the school. The doctor, as he is very friendly, he well understood even when he had not told anything about it. Albert was surprised with the doctor's reply and asked him how he got to know all about Albert. The doctor said there is no need to tell any lie because he was already nervous about the school. That is very much clear. The doctor very professionally replies that if Albert were not really close to a nervous breakdown, he wouldn't be really seeing him. He has come to see the doctor because he is really nervous about the school. Then he asked him his plan, what he would do if the doctor gives him a certificate that he should stay away from the school for some time. What is his plan? He told he would go to Milan in Italy to his parents, and there he would get admission in some college or institute. The doctor said, how's that possible? I mean, without school diploma, he could not get admission in any college or institute. He said, sir, he was good at mathematics and he had done extra work in mathematics. So his maths teacher would give him a reference certificate, and on the basis of that, he can get admission there. The doctor is still not convinced if the college idea would be successful, but he is definitely convinced about the fact that Albert's going to school is not going to help anyone. He was wasting his time there. So he asked him how much time he wanted to be mentioned on the certificate. He said 6 months. 6 months would be enough. Dr. Weil tells him that he understands the situation so well because recently he passed his college and he knows the problems faced by the students. When Albert asked his fee, he said there is no need to pay. If you want to do anything, you can call Yuri and him on a meal because Yuri is their common friend. Albert went from there. On seeing the certificate, Yuri assures him that 6 months is a good time period because just in case things go wrong, Albert could come back to finish his school diploma. Albert reassures Yuri that this is not going to happen because he would never go back to that place. And he also conveyed his idea that the next morning he would go to school and show the certificate to the head of the school, the headmaster. And Yuri reminded him not to forget to get reference certificate from his maths teacher. Thank you.